2, 3, 4, 5. And action! Hi, I'm Alicia Agneson. I'm the Global Fashion Director for Yaytrade, and I'm here to guide you through my 12 steps on how to become a sustainable rebel. Now, vintage and second-hand can be quite scary to look for, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people who doesn't have the patience to go to the shops or to look through all of the clothing. So I thought today I'd give you my little tips on what to look for. I always look for the fabrics and the patterns first. The size is not really that important. You can find great silk shirts or blazers that's oversized that you easily style with a belt or a scarf and so on. Really, the most important thing to get right is the fabric and the pattern. So I'm gonna show you today some of my favorite items from my own wardrobe that I've very easily converted. So these two pieces are currently some of my favorites. The first one I thought I'd show you is this little pink creation that I found that was completely unfitted and super long. So I shortened it, and you don't have to be a seamstress to be able to do it. I literally did it by hand, which probably isn't the best work I've ever done, but I'm not going to show you. And then with the excess fabric, I made the belt and the double buttons, and it's now one of my absolute favorite dresses. The other piece is an old vintage Lanvin dress that I actually found and wore on my very first Cannes Film Festival, which is a few years ago. And this as well, completely unshaped, and it was really long. So with the excess fabric, I shortened it really easily. I made a belt to go around it, another scarf that I sometimes use in my hair or in my handbag, or, you know, you just don't come across these kind of patterns, or very rarely today. So I would definitely say look out for the cool patterns and the fabrics when you do your vintage and secondhand hunts. There's also some things when you buy vintage and secondhand that you should keep an eye out for, and that is the hems and the zippers. When you buy older pieces, these can sometimes be a little deceiving. I remember when I was on the flight to London and I didn't have a coat. I wore this beautiful little vintage piece, and as I stood up to leave the plane, the entire dress cracked in the back. And needless to say, I had to walk through the entire airport with only a handbag this size to cover me up. So definitely check your vintage hems, guys, and maybe sometimes just wear a slightly larger handbag for safety. When you do decide to go out and buy vintage and secondhand, be bold and remember that you're doing something really amazing, not only for yourself, but also for the environment. And there's so many pieces out there that will last for a very long time. There's so many fabrics, take silk, linen, jeans. Whereas jeans, for example, just to produce a new pair takes over 9,000 liters of water. So you're doing it for yourself and you're doing it for the environment. I'd love if you shared your vintage and secondhand experiences with me. So when you find that piece, or when you find several pieces that you absolutely fall head over heels in love with, please tag me on Sustainable Rebels so we can share this and inspire each other together.